Welcome to the Jersey City Medical Center show. Today I'm really excited to have our guest, our Chief Nursing Officer, who's been with the Medical Center for 25 years. Can you believe that? But she does a great job. She's led our organization to be one of the leaders in nursing throughout New Jersey. And we're very excited to have her on our show today. Her name is Rita Smith, Dr. Rita Smith, and we'll be right back with her in just a few seconds.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunley Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
So welcome back to the Medical Center show. Rita, I'm so excited to have you here today.
It's good to be here.
Rita, for everyone who doesn't know Rita, she's been with the Medical Center for over 25 years.
Sure.
Actually worked at the old Medical Center.
Yes, I did.
Has been our Chief Nursing Officer for many years. Actually, when I came here, told me we had a vision for making nursing the best in New Jersey, and she has really worked very hard to do that. So Rita, tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, kind of how you started at Jersey City Medical Center.
Well, actually, I was at Riverview before I came here, and I came to Jersey City. I was actually recruited up to Jersey City as a director.
Okay.
And there was something about Jersey City Medical Center that just sucked me in. It's the 7th place I've worked in 3 states. And it just, there's something about it. Everybody knew why they were there. You know, we had no money at the time, and it was a struggle in the old medical center, but there's something about the culture and about people's understanding of community and what patients need and what we need to do for them. So it sucked me in, and I stayed.
Okay.
And I, you know, over time wound up in one position after another.
So when you started at the Medical Center, what did you start as?
I started as the Director of Med-Surg.
Okay, and now Rita serves as our Chief Nursing Officer and responsible for all of nursing throughout Jersey City Medical Center. You also have a Doctor of Nursing.
I do.
Right?
I do.
You know, we have quite a few advanced degrees at Jersey City Medical Center, right? Tell me a little bit about kind of what that's all about. Why are we so focused on advancing?
Well, actually, I was in the first class of Doctorate of Nursing in the state of New Jersey, and it's been my belief that if you're going to lead a profession, you need to have the top credentials in a profession. So I was very pleased when Rutgers, UMD&J at the time, started their DNP program. And I was chosen to be in the first class, finished that. I think the year you got there is when I actually finished my DNP. And I think that it's something that if you're going to lead, you have to lead. And I'm very proud because most of my leadership team now either has their doctorate or they're working on their doctorate.
So how many of our nursing leadership have a doctorate now? About 5 or 6?
At least. We're sort of working down the ranks now.
Right.
A couple of the directors either have it or are getting it. Right. And certainly the associate vice presidents do, and a lot of the directors of practice and quality have their doctorate.
Wow. You know, it's interesting because we just had our Magnet survey, and we'll talk a little bit more about Magnet. But during that survey, they also talked about the number of our nurses who have bachelor's degrees and even advanced degrees.
Right.
It's a pretty high number when compared to the rest of the state, right?
We actually have more baccalaureate prepared nurses in advanced degree nurses than anybody in the state.
Than anyone else in the whole state of New Jersey.
We do. We made that decision when we first started on the magnet journey. We made the decision to affiliate and to associate with all the schools of nursing for baccalaureate and masters at the time, and that's how we were going to do our recruiting. So as they started relationships with us, we started relationships with them and
With
just
the different
started
colleges and
different
universities.
colleges and universities. And we're lucky in this part of the state because we're so densely populated with
Right.
schools of nursing. So we decided then if we're going to build this structure of quality and improved outcomes, everybody already knows that if you have baccalaureate prepared nurses or certified nurses, you have better quality outcomes.
Right.
So we just decided to embark on that journey as part of the magnet journey.
So what percentage of our nurses have at least a bachelor's degree?
About 87% of our
Wow.
nurses do.
And that's not typical. I mean, typically you see 40 to 50%.
In most magnet hospitals, yes. In the southern part of the state, it's more around 20 to 30.
Wow.
They don't have as many programs available.
You know, we all recognize how important education is, but you're able to link the level of education of our nurses back to the quality of care that's provided at the hospital,
That's true.
right? Isn't there a lot of studies around
There
that?
are a lot of studies. As a matter of fact, in a lot of the work that's been done with staffing and staffing ratios, it's not necessarily the number of nurses, it's the qualifications of the nurse. So if you have a nursing body that's baccalaureate prepared, master's prepared, and certified, you will have better outcomes
Right.
and better working conditions.
So we have at the top our Doctor of Nursing,
Yes.
right? We have
Right.
7 or 8 folks in
Right.
our organization who have their Doctor of Nursing.
Right.
And we have kind of our entry-level bachelor's requirements, right? And 85 to 89% of our nurses
Right.
already have their bachelor's degree.
Right.
Then what about the management staff? They also are advanced degrees also,
They
right?
are. As a matter of fact, all of our leadership has at least a master's. Magnet now requires that if you are in a leadership position, of course, you must have a bachelor's.
Right.
And they're really pushing for masters. So, again, we were affiliated with so many schools of nursing that it was almost a no-brainer
Right.
that our staff would become involved in those programs.
Sure.
We actually have a lot of our leadership that has relationships with the colleges that they're actually adjunct professors there too.
They're actually teaching also.
They're teaching there too.
So a really high level of nursing practice at Jersey City Medical Center.
It really does, and that's in our latest magnet survey. That's one thing they noted was the number of degrees and the evidence that's brought back to practice. A lot of the doctoral work and the master's work has been on projects or capstones that are involving practice in our organization. So
what's an example of that?
So, for instance, we deal with a lot of alcoholics, and we instituted something called CY. It's looking at the reduction of alcohol-related incidents with patients in our institution. And so there was a lot of work done by one of our nurses, actually the trauma director,
Right.
and she got her doctorate based on developing the CY protocols and instituting them. And she's been extremely successful. So that sort of work just kind of resonates throughout the institution.
And that's really a community-based initiative.
It's
I mean,
very
it's
much
not
community.
just what happens acutely in our hospital, but really how that's spread throughout the community.
It does. It really involves the whole community, and it's the assessment from the time they get to the emergency department, and then what you're going to do with those
Right.
patients throughout their entire stay, and hopefully when they're discharged.
Well, I firmly believe, as you know, have been very supportive of our magnet journey, but I believe that leads to terrific outcomes for our entire organization.
Right.
And the collaboration that it brings to our nursing staff, with our medical staff, and actually all the multidisciplinary team, I think is what differentiates us from so many different hospitals in New Jersey and kind of puts us at the top.
Right.
We just were notified that we have 12 consecutive A ratings by Leapfrog.
Right.
That doesn't come by accident,
Right.
right? I mean, a lot of that is
Right.
what's driven through our magnet process.
As a matter of fact, it's easier to do the leapfrog, the grade A grades, if you are a magnet, because a lot of that criteria is already met.
So so the magnet criteria matches the
It actually
A
helps.
safety criteria.
Correct.
That's great.
And I think that we see that more and more. A lot of these regulating bodies are starting to dovetail in
Dovetail
so
into
that
the
we're
magnet.
all looking at the
Right.
same
Right.
the same goals.
Great. We'll be right back. We're going to talk more about Magnet and what that means to you as a patient at Jersey City Medical Center.
The Jersey City Medical Center, you know it for its award-winning life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together. It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals. That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.org.
Meineke Car Care, conveniently located at 700 Tunnelly Avenue, Jersey City, half a mile north of County Road. Meineke bumper-to-bumper car care. Brakes, exhaust, oil change, wheel alignments, batteries, CV joints, and so much more. First-rate service at a price you can afford. All major cards accepted. Apply for a Meineke card. Meineke, Jersey City. Stop by and let Sammy check your brakes for free.
I'm here with Rita Smith, Dr. Rita Smith, I'm sorry. She is our Chief Nursing Officer at Jersey City Medical Center, our Senior Vice President for Nursing. So Rita, when I first came in 2008, we had a lot of things to figure out in terms of what needed to happen at Jersey City Medical Center.
Right.
But one of the things you quickly said to me very early on was that we wanted to be a magnet hospital. And so we started that journey, well, you probably even started before I came, but way back in 2008,
Right.
and had our first magnet survey in 2010. I'll never forget,
Right.
we took them to Starbucks that had just opened.
That's
Because one of the surveyors wanted a Starbucks.
Right.
So
Right.
no, we didn't bribe them so much, but we did get them Starbucks in the morning. So tell us why patients should feel good about us being a magnet hospital.
Well, it really lends a sense of confidence to patients because the magnet designation actually comes from the American Credentialing Center, American Nurses Credentialing Center, and it is the main credentialing center in the country for nursing certifications, nursing quality, and magnet designation. So it's an objective, nationally benchmarked criteria. And what's important, I think, for patients is that they know that if you've been on the journey for Magnet, you've put in structures in place that are going to allow you to build quality outcomes. So it's all about building the structure and building the culture of quality, safety, and best current evidence practice.
Okay.
So that really is what leads to quality outcomes. It really leads to collaborative practice, certainly between physicians and nurses and other professionals in the organization, and it leads to collaborative practice outside of the organization. So often we think that the way we do things in a hospital is the only way to do it.
Right.
And to break out of that and to look at how other institutions do it and how other institutions benchmark themselves is a very powerful tool.
Sure.
So I think that, as you remember when you first came here, it was all about quality.
Yes.
How do we build that quality structure? And I think with Magnet, the timing was just perfect because really what you were trying to put in place with the whole quality structure really mimicked in many ways where Magnet was trying to
So
go.
it's that synergy again, right?
It's all about synergy.
Right. That's really incredible. Now, we are the only magnet hospital in Hudson Union and Essex
Essex
County,
County.
right?
Correct.
As of today. I know we have
Yes.
some of our sister hospitals who would
Yes.
love to become magnet. In
Yes.
fact, they come often and talk
Yeah.
about that. But during the magnet survey, they recognized us for a couple of things during our most recent magnet survey. So we got designated in 2010,
Right.
redesignated 4 years later,
4 years
right?
later,
And
right.
then we're up for our
Right.
second redesignation.
Correct.
And during this last time they were there, they mentioned a couple of things that they said were exemplary.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about what
So
those were.
for Magnet to say that something that we are doing is exemplary means that we are better than they would expect for a Magnet hospital. And of all the hospitals in actually the world now, because Magnet's international, there are only about 430 Magnet hospitals. So for us to be an exemplar means that we go above and beyond what they would expect in a Magnet hospital. So we were recognized for a couple of things. One is our care and the collaborative care in our oncology service.
Okay,
They
so
said
patients with cancer.
Patients with cancer, and especially in the infusion center. What they found was that the physicians, the nurses, the navigators, it was just synergistic. It was like watching a symphony. They
Wow.
just, as they said, they didn't just know what they knew what the other discipline knew.
Right.
So they
So a
were
real
always
collaborative team.
collaborative, always on the same page. And especially in something like oncology, that makes for such better experience for the patient and better outcomes.
Sure.
We were also recognized, and we will submit this as another exemplar, as our stroke program, the stroke patient education and community education through our stroke program was noted to be an exemplar. And then there are some other notables that they think we should do some national presentations on. One is our NICU and the work that we've done with hepatitis
So our
C.
NICU is Neonatal Intensive Care Unit.
Neonatal intensive care
And
unit.
what's the issue with hepatitis
It's
B?
really the work they've done around the hepatitis B vaccinations and
Okay.
work with the moms and babies, as well as our 4 years without eclampsia or a central line infection in our NICU. So throughout the organization, they found various areas where we were exemplar in the practice that we were exhibiting.
Wow, that's so not only are we Magnet and one of the few
Right.
Magnet designated hospitals in the area, I mean the only one in the area really,
Right.
but they've also recognized us for the terrific work that you've done
Correct.
in terms of being exemplary in many of these different areas.
Correct.
Now, we're the level 3 neonatal intensive care unit, so tell us a little bit about what that means from a nursing perspective, and like what types of babies do we take care of in our NICU?
Well, there are different designations. Of course, the level 2, a level 1 is a regular nursery. Level 2 is somewhat sicker babies, and a lot of this goes by the birth weight of the baby and the weeks of gestation. And we're a level 3, which means we can take care of any baby of any birth weight. The only thing that we wouldn't take care of is if the baby needs surgery, if there's cardiac surgery that needs, or the baby needs very high specialty treatment like ECMO, which is really a circulatory, ventilatory procedure. So our babies are as little as 24-week gestation.
Right.
They can be with us for 3 or 4 months. They are on ventilators. And actually, we have really very good outcomes for our babies in our NICU.
Right, 25, 26 weeks that
Yes.
we save these babies that
We
are born?
save these babies, and they come back for parties afterwards.
Right, we just had a big
Just-
Halloween party,
just had
right?
a Halloween party, and they
So,
come back.
just so everybody knows, every year at Halloween, we invite all of our NICU babies back. We have some kids who've been gone for 18 or 20 years
Yeah.
that come back dressed up for our
Right,
Halloween party.
right.
So that's really, really great.
And it's really rewarding when you see these 24 and 26 weekers, and they come back a year later, and you know they're meeting all their milestones. So it's very rewarding.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I just heard a patient testimonial about someone who had a baby in the NICU, and what a relationship they developed with the NICU nurse, who every day would call the mom to make sure the mom knew what was going on with the baby. You know, moms have to go back to work sometimes. That can sometimes be very stressful.
Right.
But I think because of the underlying Magnet status, that culture that you've created for nursing, the ability to drive that performance and understand how important it is to connect to patients, I think that's what those outcomes are all about.
I think it does, and it really it's all about the culture you develop.
Right.
And I think that part of our Magnet method of care is patient-centered, family-focused.
Wow.
And I think that the nursing staff really believes that.
Right.
And they know that if they're going to improve outcomes, it's all about the family.
Right. Well, listen, we'll be right back. We're going to talk more about nursing at Jersey City Medical Center with Dr. Rita Smith.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, Retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
Welcome. We're back with Dr. Rita Smith, our Chief Nursing Officer and Senior Vice President for Nursing at Jersey City Medical Center, a 25-year employee who's, she's probably mad at me for saying she's been there for 25 years. All
I'm a
this time.
historian.
But yeah, right? No. You were a baby when you started.
I was
That's
a
the
baby,
key,
that's right.
Anyway, we were talking about your role with Mabel in Magnet. So tell us a little bit about, not only are we a Magnet hospital, one of the only hospital in Hudson Union, Essex County, but you're also a leader within the Magnet organization itself.
That's true. We're lucky in the state of New Jersey because we have 27 Magnet hospitals. We have a density of Magnet hospitals that other states don't have. So about 8 years ago, actually we were just designated the first time, and some of the CNOs in the Magnet hospitals decided that we should form our own statewide organization because it would do a few things for us. It would be a really great opportunity to share best practices throughout the Magnet hospitals. It would give us an opportunity to learn from each other and, frankly, figure out the Magnet journey and process a little bit easier.
Right.
And it would help us to help other hospitals coming onto the Magnet journey. So we started an organization called the New Jersey Council of Magnet Organizations. And I'm the president of that this term.
Right.
And Dr. Mabel LaForgia is our director of practice and Magnet program director at Jersey City Medical Center, is the vice president.
Okay.
So it's a very dynamic organization. It's really all about sharing best practices. And we've done publishing through there. We do research through that organization. So it allows us to collaborate with a lot of other hospitals in the state to get research done, to get best practices published and out there for nurses to follow.
So that's really, I mean, above and beyond what you would expect at a hospital like ours, right? I mean, it's to really have that level of leadership.
It is, and
Right.
I think that we really are trying to take the state of New Jersey beyond where other states are.
Right.
We want to be a national leader. So I think this is a very good way to promote that.
Right.
We do a lot of work with ANCC in trying to work with them to get them to work with states on where we're going with Magnet.
So ANCC is the parent
the
organization
parent
of Magnet,
organization.
right?
Correct.
Of Magnet.
They're the
they actually
designating
give
right.
they're the designating organization who actually gives the Magnet Award.
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about how the staff feel about Magnet. I know, it's incredible how it builds an esprit de corps.
It does. Well, first of all, I think they're very proud to be a Magnet hospital, and I think that if you come to orientation at Jersey City Medical Center, you hear, it just resonates through, that nurses come to Jersey City Medical Center because we're a Magnet organization. Right. Again, we have an affiliation with a lot of the schools of nursing, and when they go out looking for jobs now, they look for Magnet organizations. Right. So I think they want to work in a Magnet organization, and I think our staff value it. I was so pleased during this survey because I had nothing to do. The staff simply ran the entire survey.
Yeah, they were.
I saw the surveyors at the end of the day.
They were like ninjas, They were like
ninjas.
on top of everything, right?
So they explained everything. They took them everywhere. They met with hundreds of staff. And it was really the staff that just took that entire survey and ran it. So you've matured in the process when the staff can just take it and do it.
I mean, and it's a good point about maturity in the process.
Yeah.
I mean, usually when you submit your Magnet application, they send it back and have you revise it and revise it and revise it. I mean, What's the first time we sent it, they asked for a revision,
They did. We had, I think, 27 items to rewrite the first time.
right?
I think there were 15 last time, and this
Right.
time we went straight to survey.
Right. So we
So-
submitted our magnet application and went right to survey. That's
Right.
so unusual.
It's very unusual.
Right. So it just goes to show about the
Right.
maturity of the program. But yeah,
Correct.
you're right. So during the magnet survey, I never
Yeah.
forget, we're going in for an interview, and as we walk in, they're like, "Give us your cell phone, and we'll give it back to you when you get out."
You're right.
And they weren't afraid to tell me or
No.
anybody else,
No.
no cell phones in the
No.
meeting.
Yes.
Right?
That's
So
true.
that's
true.
and they were very proud, very professional all through that process.
Yes, they were. And it's interesting because they want to stay involved.
Right.
And so we're finding ways now that we can get them very involved in some of our other quality and initiatives that we're taking on in the
Right.
institution.
And so how do you go about that? So talk a little bit about really the basic structure, right? It's all about nurse empowerment and having councils that really focus on what's important for the hospital at the staff level.
Correct. The structure for Magnet needs to have a staff empowerment structure. So at Jersey City Medical Center, we have a series of councils. So there's quality and safety, there's nurse and staff engagement, there's professional practice, which is really the leading council. We have an ambulatory council. They all meet with me once a month as the chairs of those councils. But they are self-regulating councils. They make recommendations. They determine where we need to go. And even for things that are going to cross over with physicians, nothing goes to MedExec for their approval for policies unless it's gone through professional practice.
Okay.
So everything that has to do with clinical practice in the institution goes through those councils.
Right.
So in order to set up that structure, they have to have a sense of control over their work environment. And I think that it takes a while to develop that for them to really trust.
Right.
It really becomes a trusting relationship, that leadership understands what they need and that we trust them to do it.
Right.
And, once they know that they've got that empowerment, they just take it and run with it.
Right. You
And
can see it. You can feel it.
It's a wonderful thing to watch.
So does every unit have their own council?
Every unit has a unit practice council, and then once a month they meet at their parent councils.
Right.
And there's just a free exchange of what is going on, what should be going on, what policies they want to bring forward, what changes in practice, and whatever else is going on. So it's very dynamic.
Yeah. It's you can feel it. And when you're at the
Yeah.
hospital, you really can feel what a difference that makes.
Yeah, they can speak to it.
Well, we're very excited to have you, obviously, as our Chief Nursing Officer. Rita is also the historian for Jersey City Medical
That's right.
Center. One of the reasons why Jersey City Medical Center is what it is today is because of your leadership, and we
Thank you.
can't thank you enough for that.
Thank you.
Right? And really building that esprit de corps that
Yeah.
changes the mission, vision, and values of what you're trying to accomplish at Jersey City.
Well, I think it's, again, as you said, it's the synergy.
Right.
And, it's having nursing have synergism with our overall strategic plan or the values of the organization.
Right. Great.
So,
Well, thank you. I hope you enjoyed our time with Dr. Rita Smith, our Chief Nursing Officer, and we will see you next time. Welcome to the Medical Center Show. I'm Joe Scott, the President and CEO of Jersey City Medical Center. And today we have a very special guest with us, Dr. Richard Yoon, who is a new member of our orthopedic department. As you may know, Jersey City Medical Center is the regional trauma center. And we're very excited to have a new member of our staff join our orthopedic team. And we're going to be right back to talk with Dr. Richard Yoon.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunnelly Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunnelly Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Welcome back. We're here with Dr. Richard Yoon, who is a new member of our orthopedic department at Jersey City Medical Center. Dr. Yoon, welcome. We're so glad to have you with us. Well, you started with us when, in June?
September, actually.
September, oh, okay, right. I remember talking to you back in June, and
yes.
So you just started with our staff. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You're a fellowship-trained orthopedic trauma surgeon, so kind of where are you from, and how did you end up at Jersey City?
Sure. I'm a Jersey boy.
How are you? Okay, great.
Raised up in Bergen County.
Mm-hmm.
I went to high school up at the Bergen Academies, the Science Magnet School.
Great.
I went to Trinity College up in Hartford for college.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did a 2-year research fellowship at Columbia, where I actually ran their hip and knee center, their research. That's where I really fell in love with orthopedics.
So that was before medical school?
That was before medical school.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, that's when I really fell in love with orthopedics and realized how hard it was to get into.
Mm-hmm.
So I got into medical school. I went to Rutgers, New Jersey Medical School in Newark.
Oh, great. You are a Jersey guy.
I am, through and through. Got to stay close to home.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to NYU Hospital for Joint Diseases for residency.
Okay.
After 5 years there, went to Orlando for a combined trauma and complex adult reconstruction fellowship.
Great.
So I returned home to join one of my best friends, but also one of the best bosses and chairman, Franco
Sure.
Paracci.
Yeah, we're very excited to have Frank on our staff.
I always joke around with him because I met him in medical school, so
Mm-hmm.
it's probably the longest job interview / recruiting process
Wow.
of all time.
So he was a fellow when you were in medical school, or
He was a young attending. He was
Young
probably
attending.
3
Okay.
years in
right?
when I first met him. 3 years out of fellowship then,
Right.
and since then it's been 10 years us working together.
So I'm intrigued. I didn't know about the work that you did before going to medical school. So you were actually working in a research lab, looking
Yes.
at joints and knees, or
Absolutely. I was
Yeah.
coming out of medical school. Coming out of college, I didn't really know if I was ready for medical school yet. This job came up. My boss at the time, Bill McCauley, he was an alumni of Trinity. He gave me a shot to be research coordinator and run his entire clinical lab.
wow.
There was a 6-month probationary period. I loved it. I guess I did well. He kept me on for 2 years.
Wow.
And we were part of several different studies where I helped run them. One of our main things was a data registry of all outcomes for our joints patients.
So were you actually developing devices, or you were just studying the patients who had replacements?
Right, we were studying the patients that had replacements. Then we're also part of several multi-center national trials. One of
Right.
the biggest ones was called the FOCUS trial, which is pretty paramount in today's transfusion protocols following not only hip fracture surgery, but joint replacements in general. That was a great experience to be involved with an NIH R01 grant.
Right.
And there were also several other, I guess, post-market IDE studies that I was a part of and helped run to get to track our patients, how they do after both primary and revision joint surgery. And that was when I really got to see how well joints patients do firsthand and when I fell in love with orthopedics.
Wow, that's great. That's great. It's great that you were able to kind of take it from that research all the way through to your, your goal of being an orthopedic surgeon. So that's great.
Absolutely.
That's really great.
Absolutely.
Well, we're really excited to have you here. One of the things that I was most proud of with when we recruited Frank, Dr. Liberace, to our campus was that he was a fellowship-trained orthopedic trauma surgeon. Not a whole lot of those, right? And now you are. Not a whole lot of those in the state of New Jersey.
No. Probably maybe a handful or less.
Right.
That do the complex patients who get in car accidents, motorcycle accidents, and unfortunately get hit by cars.
Right. So is that really what that means? That fellowship-trained orthopedic trauma surgeon means that you've done some special work for those kinds of procedures?
Yes, it means that I guess for anyone who comes in unstable, especially from the fracture perspective, which could mean life or death for some patients. These
Sure.
high-energy injuries, they can occur with if they have a pelvic fracture, for example, and if you don't stabilize that properly, they could exsanguinate and die.
Right.
And a lot of these patients come in with multiple extremities injured, so you need to know how to kind of take care of those, fix those, but also work hand in hand with the general surgery trauma team so that you can, maximize their outcomes while minimizing their time in the ICU and any kind of other complications that might happen with very difficult to treat patients.
Sure. And so how long was your fellowship?
A year.
It was a year. So, and that's really all you focused on were those traumatic injuries?
For an entire year in Orlando, the catchment area there is very, very large because
large, right.
They
A lot
have
of people from Disney?
Yes, actually.
Really?
You'd be surprised, but they do. That's where they come. But we had 4 or 5 helicopters. My job was to operate every single day.
Right.
So last year, I treated over 1,000 patients, did over 2,000 procedures in just a year.
Wow.
So the volume was incredible. The experience was incredible. And, having that kind of experience coming out and starting practice, it's not much you're afraid of, let's put it that way.
Right. And I mean, look at where we live. The fact that Jersey City is such a densely populated area, all these highways everywhere, and there's always some trauma coming into Jersey City Medical Center.
Absolutely. Can't forget about the gunshot wounds too. So take care of those too.
So we have those also, right?
Yeah.
And lately we've had kids on bicycles. So I mean, it's been really, so we're so happy to have you here to be able to handle those kinds of injuries.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. So you work closely with our trauma team also?
Yes, I think the general surgery trauma team, which is great here at Jersey City in the ICU, it's really a synergistic relationship, and we have to communicate together well, or else our patients, things fall by the wayside.
Right.
Especially with these critically injured patients.
Yeah, it's always amazing to me that our trauma team works so well with the orthopedic department, and works in concert with pretty much all the surgical specialties at Jersey City.
Absolutely, they're a great team.
Yeah, we always talk about that golden hour for trauma, right? Getting the patient treated. So I guess you've been here a short period of time, but I think we do that pretty well at Jersey City Medical Center.
Yeah, absolutely.
Making sure that we're there to treat the patients and be there on time.
Oh, absolutely, and everyone's from the nursing staff in the trauma bay to the nursing staff in the operating room, if there's an emergency, they're I don't want to say rolling out the red carpet, but they're clearing the way for us to do what we need to do to stabilize our patients and save a life.
Great. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the other things you do outside of trauma, working with Dr. Liberace and Dr. Capo. But we're so happy to have you here at Jersey City Medical Center, and we're really excited about all the new things that you could bring to our staff and that we can learn from your experience down in Orlando.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. We'll be right back. We're going to talk more about orthopedic trauma at Jersey City Medical Center.
The Jersey City Medical Center, you know it for its award-winning life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want. Panapinto Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office space and an address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment. Adjacent to all modes of transportation. On-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. 201-521-9000 or visit on the web at panapintoproperties.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Welcome back. We're here with Dr. Richard Yoon, who is our new fellowship-trained orthopedic trauma surgeon, who's joined our orthopedic group at Jersey City Medical Center. One of our key product lines at Jersey City Medical Center is orthopedics, and so we're so excited to have you here and be a member of our orthopedic team. You talked a little bit about your relationship with Frank, that you've worked with him for actually since you were in medical school, you said. So the fact that you followed him all the way through is really great that you're able to work with him here now at Jersey City. But tell us, so in addition to doing orthopedic trauma, you do other things, elective procedures. Tell us a little bit about what some of the things are that you do in orthopedics at Jersey City.
Well, you can almost call it my first love. You know, I remember the first patient I saw when I was like 22 years old doing research, and one of the first patients I saw came back about maybe 6 weeks out from a total hip replacement. And walking into the room with my boss at the time, she looked at him and us, and she started sobbing. And he was kind of taken aback. He said, "Mrs. So-and-so, what's going on?" And she looks at him and she goes, "Well, I thought you lied to me when you said I would be able to play with my grandkids again."
Oh wow.
So that was like the first experience where I had like, okay, wow.
Wow, you really touched somebody.
You
Yeah.
really can help someone
Yeah.
get their life back in activity. And as I went through my training, I realized physicians are fantastic, and especially our medical colleagues and everyone, they take fantastic care of their patients. But in orthopedics, we truly get a chance to, I think, change someone's life and impact their quality of life so they can get their function back and get back to doing the things they love with their family and their friends and their kids. And that's where I think joint replacement is probably one of the most, especially the hip, probably one of the most successful surgeries, arguably, of all time.
Right.
The survivorship is great. Patients feel, they often say even in the recovery room how much better they feel, that the dull aching pain in the groin is gone.
Right.
And some of them really do come back, and they ask you whether or not this pain is going to come back or not.
Right.
So joint replacements themselves
And
are
so does
great.
it? Does it for many patients? Do they come back or?
In the hip, most of the time, no.
Okay.
The knee's a little bit more finicky, but even with the knee, if you pick the right patient and you go through all the non-operative regimen and you wait till they're ready, and truly in its shared decision-making process, knee replacements, they can do fantastic. Patients can get back to skiing, they can get back to the activities.
That's what I want to do, and my knee's hurting. You guys got to help me out here.
You're too young.
I know I'm too young for a knee replacement, but I want to go skiing again, and the knee's stopping me. So I don't know.
We should come see us.
Oh yeah. Well, I actually have an appointment. I'm coming to see you guys. But these days, like it used to be, somebody came in for a hip replacement, they'd be in the hospital for 2 weeks. And then they go to rehab, but it's all different now, right? I mean, it's
absolutely.
We're talking about outpatients sometimes now, right?
Absolutely. So I think the not only has the technology advanced, where our instrumentation and our implants are allowing us to do the surgeries in smaller incisions, as well as our surgeries last longer, but I think our technical ability, along with our kind of approach to joint replacements, has changed a lot. Gone are the days where patients are being pre-admitted the night before, and staying 2 weeks or going even to rehab now.
Right.
Our preferences now are to come get educated
On the day.
preoperatively
Okay. Right.
about what to expect. I think that's a very important part about hip and knee replacement. So they really have no surprises. They know that they're going to be going home on postoperative day 1 or 2. And even then, we have a protocol where patients are getting medications in holding before the surgery,
Right.
During the surgery, even locally in the area where we do the surgery, and then a multimodal pain regimen after the surgery, so that we're really maximizing and maximizing function while minimizing pain and getting patients home sooner.
Right. And so they don't even go to rehab these days, right? They're going right home to with home health.
Yeah, absolutely. They're having PT come to their homes
Right.
to show them a home exercise regimen as well.
Right.
We encourage them to do the exercises on their own, and
Right.
so oftentimes with the patients, you have to kind of hold them back. Sometimes they're
Really?
feeling so great that you're like, okay, please don't do yoga
There you go.
this soon.
So all you folks out there who are afraid of hip replacements or knee replacements, you need to see these guys. They're the absolute best, and you guys do a great job. So you do an anterior approach.
It depends on the patient.
Okay. So tell us what that means. I'm
So
using big words here for our friends at home.
The
but-
studies have shown that there really is no difference between an anterior approach or
Meaning you're laying on your back and
correct,
right? Okay.
or a posterior approach where you're kind of up on your side.
Okay.
However, for the younger, kind of more fit patient, especially young men, I'll offer anterior approach. It's a little more muscle sparing. You have a lower dislocation risk, and really they can get back to function very, very quickly.
Right.
However, if for the older patients or for the our more obese patients, going anterior actually is a little more dangerous because you have an increased risk of infection.
Okay.
So for those kind of patients, you do want to do a posterior approach,
Right.
just to make sure that you avoid those complications.
They talk about doing hip replacement surgery on an outpatient basis. What do you think? Are we ready for that yet?
I think we are. I mean, it's definitely doable, especially with the pathway and the system that we have in place. You have to pick the right patient, the
Right.
motivated young patient who knows, what the pain threshold is going to be, and what they want to do with therapy, and
Right.
they have to be very motivated. But it's definitely here, and it's definitely possible.
Right.
And I think we have to with the right patient, they'll do great.
Right. Now, our inpatient orthopedic unit is kind of a special unit designed really for orthopedics. We have our gym right across the hall. So, I mean, we get patients out of bed, right, the same day or the next day?
Same day in the afternoon for our AM total joints.
Right.
Twice a day after that, and really they're
How
in
long
there.
are they in the hospital?
For total hips right now? Probably I think our average is about 1.5 days. Total
Wow.
knees, a little over 2 days, a little
Right.
less. So they're up, they're moving, and like I said, they're going home. They're not going to rehab.
Right. And then we have physical therapy right on the floor, so they're able
Yes, we
to
do.
assist them right across the hall from where they are.
Absolutely. And not only that, I think our floor is great because we have nurses who are trained specifically in orthopedics, so
Right.
they know what to look for and things like that. Our social workers are also very aware of what our patients' needs are on an outpatient basis, and also our therapists are specifically orthopedically trained specialists who can get them out of bed.
So it's interesting. We're talking to our chief nursing officer, and we have a really high skill mix when it comes to our nurses. But we didn't really talk about the certifications. So there's a specific orthopedic certification for our nurses and for our physical therapists.
Yes.
And the majority of our nurses on that floor have that certification.
Absolutely. And you can tell right away.
They're-
When they're coming off a medicine floor or something like that and coming to our floor, that's where even if they're admitted under another service,
Right.
if the primary problem is orthopedic, we prefer them on our floor because our nurses can take care of them.
Right. That's great. Well, we'll be right back talking more about orthopedics at Jersey City Medical Center.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
Meineke Car Care, conveniently located at 700 Tunnelly Avenue, Jersey City, half a mile north of County Road. Meineke bumper-to-bumper car care. Brakes, exhaust, oil change, wheel alignments, batteries, CV joints, and so much more. First-rate service at a price you can afford. All major cards accepted. Apply for a Meineke card. Meineke, Jersey City. Stop by and let Sammy check your brakes for free.
And we're back with Dr. Richard Yoon, who is a new fellowship-trained orthopedic trauma surgeon at Jersey City Medical Center. Dr. Yoon, we're so excited to have you on our staff. So, a couple things. You are right on our campus, right, at Jersey City Medical Center, right in our medical office building? That's
Yes,
where your
sir.
office is.
Right across the parking lot. So
Right across the parking lot.
Very close.
So if somebody needs to come to see you, they know it's right there at the medical center. It's very convenient for you.
Absolutely.
There. We have general radiology in that building also, so if they need an x-ray, they can get their x-ray there. It's all very convenient.
Very convenient,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the other thing is we've got an orthopedic institute at the hospital, newly renovated, all private rooms. Patient feedback on our rooms?
They love the privacy.
Do they?
They love the view, because
Right.
the view of the river
That's
is
right.
fantastic.
Yeah, that's right. They have a view of the Statue of Liberty too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
Combine that with our orthopedic nurses and therapists, and the gym right across there.
Yeah.
The private rooms are definitely a huge hit.
Yeah, it's like you're not even going for surgery, right?
Exactly.
It's like a little vacation.
Exactly.
But seriously, before you send a patient to for their hip replacement or their knee replacement, a lot of times you'll send them to rehab, right? To tune them up, make sure that they're ready for their surgery.
Yes.
Tell us, what does that do for the patient?
Well, it does a couple things. One, it educates them on what to expect after surgery, but also gets them in the mindset that they do have to kind of get their muscles stronger even beforehand in order to make their post-operative course easier.
Right.
So we write specific prescriptions to our therapists that really focus on the important muscles strengthening around the joint without necessarily hurting the patient, because
Right.
you have to be very careful. If someone has very bad arthritis to their knee, you don't want a therapist trying to get range of motion back if there
Right.
isn't much there.
Right.
But if you have a therapist teaching them how to get their quadriceps stronger with straight leg raises, and really teaching them on how to do the exercises after surgery, that we've seen that our patients who've had that course before, they really have a easier time after surgery.
They do.
Especially knee replacements.
Right. And do you do that like a couple weeks before, or how long before the surgery do you normally start that kind of process?
We like to have it within, at least within a month before the surgery.
Right.
So it's still fresh in their mind.
Right. And we do that on campus also.
Yes.
With our physical therapy
Yes, we
department.
do.
It's great. So as a fellowship-trained orthopedic trauma surgeon, one of the things I know that you do are revisions. Tell everybody what that means.
So revisions in terms of fractures that don't heal, also joint replacements that have either been in place for a very long time and kind of mechanical failures. Like, I guess the best analogy really is when your tires need a swap, or God forbid if your joint replacement gets infected, or if there's a fracture around it.
Right.
The complex scenarios.
So
that can
those are
occur.
complications of surgery sometimes,
Yes,
right?
yes. So unfortunately, those do happen, and our center has been a big referral base for outside orthopedists and I guess surgeons who are less experienced in the complexity of those surgeries, where we get to take care of those patients and really treat them with very, very severe diagnoses. A lot of them have bone loss. A lot of them have mechanical components that have failed with or without an infection, and
Right.
It's something that we're very experienced with and adept at doing.
So you're not only doing the routine knee and hip replacement, not that that's routine unless, if you're the patient, it's not routine, but you're doing those more complicated cases that may not have gone right the first time or got infected or something else happened. They actually send them throughout the state to you and to Dr. Liberace to see if you can fix whatever might have happened.
Yeah, I mean, we're very grateful for the referrals.
Right.
they call us an odd bunch because we enjoy taking care of these patients. But everyone needs help, even these patients, and we're more than happy to help them. And
I know we've had patients even from New York who end up, not being able to be taken care of there, and they send them over to Jersey City. So I think you guys do something very, very specific, and I think it's an indication of a much higher level of orthopedic care than anywhere else in New Jersey.
We think so. We try. Frank and I have a joke. We barely sleep at night because we worry so much. But it's funny. The harder the case, the more complex the case, the more excited we get about treating it.
Right.
He actually had a transfer this weekend come in all the way up from Orange County, New York.
Wow.
So our catchment area for referrals are not only New Jersey, South Jersey, North Jersey, but oftentimes Pennsylvania, upstate New York, and Manhattan and Long Island.
Right.
So they come from all over, but we're here to help everybody.
Well, so you do prehab, you do a joint camp, you educate our patients all about that. When they come to the hospital, we have the right anesthesia to take care of them so we minimize their pain. We have private rooms overlooking the Statue of Liberty. It's like a commercial, right?
It's a pretty nice setup.
We have physical therapy, and then afterwards we were able to take care of them in their own homes. They don't even have to go to a rehab afterwards.
Absolutely.
So it looks like we've got the full continuum of care for those orthopedic patients.
Absolutely. Sure. That's how you have people smile all the time when they come back and see you right away.
Yeah. So were you expecting that when you came to Jersey City? Did you know how comprehensive a program that we had?
Well, having known Frank for 10 years,
you know what he would demand, right?
Well, I also rotated here as a chief resident.
Oh, okay, that's right.
So we had a special selective where you could do a month 2 months actually with Dr. Liberace, and firsthand it was right after the operating rooms were renovated, which are fantastic. Thank you for that. Sure. And the floor was renovated, and firsthand you got to see kind of how comprehensive and how awesome the program was.
Right.
So coming back here was really a no-brainer. I'm just glad you guys took me.
Great. You're right. So a couple of other things we didn't include in that whole scenario are orthopedic certified nurses and physical therapists. I think that's really an important part. Having that certification and knowing specifically how to take care of orthopedic patients, especially post-op, is a big deal. And not all hospitals have that level of certification. No. And then you're right. We actually specifically renovated one of the operating rooms. We combined 2 operating rooms that were smaller into one big one so that we would be able to do these more complex cases and have the room for you guys to be able to do what you need to do.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the anesthesiologist, and I can't give enough credit to the operating room staff as well.
Right.
There are orthopedic-specific scrub techs and nurses that make our cases more and more efficient and go seamless.
Right. Well, Dr. Richard Yoon, thank you so much for being here with us. We're very excited to have you as a member of our team. When you need orthopedic care, Jersey City Medical Center is the best. You heard from Dr. Yoon about the comprehensive program we have. We have the right operating rooms. We have certified nurses, physical therapists. Our physicians are fellowship-trained orthopedic trauma surgeons. We have specialties in not only joint replacement, but also trauma, as well as hand, with Dr. Capo. So we really have the full gamut and are the regional referral center for trauma. And we're very excited to have folks of your caliber join the medical staff at Jersey City Medical Center and create this really great program. And don't forget, he's right in the medical office building on our campus at Jersey City Medical Center. Thank you, Dr. Yoon, for being here, and we will see you next time.